Bonjour! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Fasten up your seatbelt and enjoy this journey into Muse World with Lamia Mordew. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode. Today, I have a new guest on board. I have Sher with me today. So, obviously, Sher, you are a fitness coach.
Yes.
You also have your own community.
Yeah.
And we'll discover and talk about everything in today's episode.
I'm excited.
Thank you for coming, first of all.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. So, I like to start, obviously, because you're a new guest on the podcast. So, I want to know a bit more about your early life, where you're from, when did you move to Dubai? What made you take the step to move to Dubai?
You know, I'm excited about this.
Okay.
I've never really spoke much about podcasts before.
Okay.
I was saying to you before this, I
Yeah.
tell everybody my life,
Yeah,
but never on podcast.
There you go.
Now we dig deep.
exactly.
So first question, early life.
Yes.
So I was born in UK, Newcastle, the north.
Okay.
You know this place?
Of course, I used to live in the UK.
Well, there you go. So we're northerners, we're the friendliest people apparently.
Okay.
So my heritage, my granddad was Italian, so he was from the Italian side.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Naples.
Okay.
Never been, but inshallah one day I'll get to go.
Okay.
And you know, my other half on my dad's side was from UK.
How did you grow up?
So I lived with my mom, my mom and my sister most of my life. My mom and dad were married until I was 7.
Okay.
And then they got divorced. But it's funny actually because now I think back to when I was 7, I actually heard this on a podcast. What they said was that your self-development is at the age of 7, and then after 7 you remember everything.
Correct.
So when I think back, okay, what was I doing when I was 4, 5, and 6? I'm like, yeah, I can't remember. But after 7 is when I remember everything, right?
Yeah.
So lived with my parents. They got divorced. Lived with my mom. My mom was very independent.
Okay.
So she was like the bad ass, like grinder, hustler.
Yeah.
She's got her own business. So she does hairdressing salon. She's got her own hairdressing salon called Hair Goals.
Okay.
And my dad had his own windows, doors, manufacturing company. So they were always hustlers. And I always grew up around that. So going back, when my mom actually met my dad didn't really have much.
Okay.
In fact, she had more money than him.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
which is funny because in relationships now, I always think I can fix these guys. I'm like, okay, I can get with you because I can make you a millionaire because my mom did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he started off with nothing. She made all the money. She kind of inspired him to do well in his life and business and aspirations. And then he ended up doing, you know, obviously more than my mom. Then, you know, she didn't work and then they had me. So yeah, that was kind of the backstory with that.
Okay.
They got divorced and then, yeah, lived with my mom.
Okay.
So
And what brought you to Dubai?
what brought me to Dubai? Long story. This was a long story. It was crazy because I used to vision board a lot.
Okay.
Like I started my business when I was 18. So I started the personal training business when I was 18. Started
Back
off
in
in my
the
dad's
UK?
gym. Yeah.
Okay.
Started off working in my dad's gym. You know, at the time social media come about. So was teaching classes, you know, girls were finding like, oh my God, my booty looks so big. And like, how do I look like this? So yeah, social media brought that about. And then girls started jumping on my class programs and things, my classes, ebooks I had at the time. Was doing personal training alongside that as well. And then vision boarded. So I was like, okay, my goal now, I was like 19, 20 at the time. I was like, I want to open a gym.
Okay.
So I want to open a female only gym.
Okay.
As years went by, I had all the designs. You know, I had the name, I had the staff. I think I was about 22 at the time. And I was like, right, next year, I want a gym. Like it's happening. Told my dad about it, was going to buy the gym. It was a commercial property that I found. And then, yeah, had this big community. And then all of a sudden, COVID hit.
Oh.
COVID hit, yeah. So luckily, thank God, someone was watching over me because the month, as I was going to put the money down, like all my savings, everything that I ever saved up since being like 18, 19, COVID hit. So I was like, right, good job I didn't put the money down because now I would have lost it all.
Of course.
You
And
know?
it was such an uncertain time. Like COVID, when I was in the UK when COVID happened. And I think in the UK was the most like uncertain moment at that time because we never knew what was going to happen. Like suddenly we were like, when is lockdown going to finish? When are we getting back to our normal routine? And then obviously they were progressively opening again, but then going back again. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing was, so I started off with the coaching, the personal training. Then I built the classes up. So I used to have a program called Boss Body.
Okay.
But I had them in 2 different locations. Okay. So it was getting to a point where I was like, okay, I need to start employing people. Yeah. I need to start buying a premises. I need to start bringing people in and taking over the classes because so many man hours I could do. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if it was, I mean, obviously it was a sign. Like I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. And, you know, back then if I had the gym, it would never be as successful as it was now because the whole transition to Dubai. But just, COVID hit. So I was like, shit, what am I going to do now? Like business gone, classes gone, full income gone. Everyone was the same, right? Like, what are you going to do? How are you going to make money? But the crazy thing was, I still had the community. Yeah. So I had all these girls that were also in the same boat that were like, COVID's hit. How am I going to work out?
Yes.
So the next day I was like, okay, let's go online. Let's start doing some Zoom classes or, you know, online coaching. Let's start doing some group sessions. Mm-hmm. But I remember at the time I was in my mom's house in the UK. And we were all in lockdown there. And it was the first lockdown, so it was the summer. Yeah. It was like the nice time. Everyone was like, yes, let's go out, let's go party. Yeah. Not party, but, you know, garden parties and all this thing. Because I think it wasn't like one or two people social distancing. It was maybe like 6 or 12 or something. Correct. And then everyone was going on bike rides and everyone was staying active. But then everyone was on the phone. Yes. So I'm like, right. Now we need to deviate and now we need to like find another way. Correct. So for 3 or 4 months, I was doing live workouts online on Instagram. I think 3 or 4 sessions a week. Mm-hmm. People were just logging in from all over the world, like, you know, can I do this booty workout? And we're doing like boxing workouts and things. Yeah. So completely free. I wasn't making any income off it, but it was, you know, it was just a bit of fun anyway, because how are you going to make money when you're stuck in lockdown? Plus online coaching wasn't big then. Yes. Nobody was doing online coaching. Like you never heard about it, right? Yes. So 3 or 4 months went by. And then at the same time, I still had this vision of the gym. I'm like, how can I incorporate the gym and community and online coaching? Like, how's this going to work? Mm. So long story short, second lockdown hit. That was in the November time. I actually caught COVID. Me and my mom, I gave my mom COVID, actually. Oh, okay. Yeah, I gave my mom COVID by accident because I caught it in the gym. Okay. Right? Yeah. I come back into the home. November, it was like the week that everyone was going back into lockdown, and then my whole family got it, and I was like, right, well, this is brilliant. But I still taught the classes and things, you know. I was like, oh, girls, I'm dying. I was coughing all over, and I was like, I'm dying. But, you know, still power through. And then second one was really bad because it was the winter, and everyone's like, yeah, this is serious, like what we're going to do. Yeah. But at the same time, didn't really look into online coaching because I'm like, well, the gyms are going to open again. Yeah. So, you know, it was this kind of unpredictable, what's going to happen. Then third lockdown was going to hit. So this was in January. Yes. So I'm sitting there like, yo, I'm out of here now. Like I'm out. So what I did was got the jabs. 2 days before the UK lockdown happened, I flew to Dubai. Okay. So me and my friend were the only girls that went. Like me and my friend, she's called Lauren. We just packed our stuff and we're like, okay, let's leave. Like technically the UK was in this fear-mongering stage where they were saying, don't leave the UK, you know, you can't, you're going to spread things, like it's not allowed. But actually I knew people in Dubai that were already there. Yeah. I knew a lot of business owners. I seen people on my Instagram in Dubai. I'm like, wait, I'm supposed to be at home? Correct. You're there in Dubai, like what's going on? Correct. So I thought, let's go. Why not? Okay. So I said to my mom, I was like, okay, I'm going to Dubai. She was like, enjoy. Go and live your life. Go and live your life, you know? Of course. But the thing was with that, everything was fine. We literally got in the airport. I'm like, girl, there's no one here. Like, is this like allowed? Like, it was very quiet. Is this like legal? Like, but in my head, I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I don't care. You know, I had this mindset, I don't care. If I'm not meant to be here, okay, but we're allowed to be here. Of course. So, of course, we're not hurting anybody. If anything, we're doing favors because we're not in the country. Correct. Right? Yeah. But also I had the online coaching at this point. So I kind of thought, well, you can be remote, you can be anywhere. Yeah. So anyway, with that, I jumped on the plane. We got there. Everything was fine. They welcomed us in. Welcome to, you know, Dubai. Welcome to Newcastle Airport. No problem. I thought, right, okay. Landed. Fine. Passports, NHS passport. Passed it. COVID test. Done. So I'm looking at my friend. I'm like, yo, everyone's just sitting at home. You know what I mean? But you could be here. And it was legal completely. Yeah, right? Yeah. So anyway, we got there. Was there for about a month. Actually, it was originally meant to be 2 weeks. Okay. But as soon as we landed, 2 days after, everywhere went into red list.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, we either stay here, because we had like a few days to get out the country. So I'm like, okay, you can stay here and try and make it work until everything goes back green again. I don't know how long that's going to be. So it was a massive risk.
Of course.
But, you know, we could go back. So anyway, she ended up going home after about a month. And I thought, well, let's just stay. And it was a wild time.
I know.
It was a wild time.
I still remember. It's funny because you're bringing me back to that time, and I have vivid memories, because I remember one of my biggest like scare. It wasn't just about like the uncertainty, but the other thing was, because for me, gym has always been my me time. You know, it was the time that I'll be with myself, I'll be training, and I loved it. It's part of my lifestyle. So I remember when lockdown happened, it was and everyone was talking, oh, you know, everyone's gaining weight and all of that. For someone who used to be overweight, I was flipping. When I was like, no, I can't be eating. And obviously, unfortunately, that led into some eating disorders. But all of the live workouts and all of that, oh my God, I used to watch everyone. I was like, ooh, live workout today, workout. And, you know, it was so accessible because you could be doing it in the morning, you could be doing it in the afternoon, you could be having it and the variety of classes was crazy.
Yeah.
From your Pilates to your yoga to your body weight to your I don't know, your Zumba, your whatever. There were so many things that I was just like, wow, I just love it. But yeah, I do agree that Dubai managed the COVID way better.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be fair, I left the UK personally just because I didn't want to stay. I did it. I was like, I couldn't stay. I couldn't stay in the UK. My visa was finishing. But obviously now that you like, let's go back down to memory lane. You're back in Dubai now. It's been 1 month you're here. Did you plan on staying here for the long term?
Well, this was the thing. So it was a completely new world, right? Like I was like, okay, I'm in Dubai. I don't know anybody.
Okay.
I was 22, 23, maybe just turned 23 at this point. No, 24, sorry, I was 24. It was, I've covered it. But anyway, so I was like, okay, I don't know anybody. I'm sitting in this apartment in the marina that I'm spending off my savings that was meant to be paying for a gym. I blitzed my money. I spent it all in like 6 months. And I had money saved, right? Because I had spent like 6 or 7 years saving it up and I just blitzed it. But I remember sitting looking at the balcony and I'm like, this is a life. It was a whole new perspective because I'm like, you know, 24-year-old, you can work remote, you can do online coaching. It's a completely different world now. Everything just changed overnight.
100%.
There's a demand for it. People want to get fit. You know, now rather than teaching 20 girls or 30 girls per class, you can teach 2,000 or 1,000 girls
of course.
per workout.
100%.
So it was a complete new mindset change.
Yeah.
But the thing was, when I moved here at that time, when you network with people in the same mindset, you're like, okay, there's actually bigger fish to fry out here.
100%,
you know?
I agree.
Like we were doing quite a lot of, I was meeting people in Dubai, I was going to beach clubs, I was, you know, trying different avenues outside the comfort zone, like rather than being with friends all the time, I'm like, okay, now I need to go somewhere by myself and make some friends with people. Like, let's go to a beach club or let's find out, you know, bars that people are going to. So I'm talking to people like, what do you do? And they're like, oh, I'm working marketing. You know, I work in insurance. I work online. I'm a broker. Work in real estate. But where I was from in the UK, nobody really had big ambitions, right?
Yeah.
So, and I can say that because I'm from there. But I always felt like there was this closed mindset.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm like, people actually want more here.
Yes.
Like, the world is your oyster, you know?
Yes.
And it was just a switch. And I'm like, I need to live here.
I love that because I think you're right. I even struggle when I was from where I'm from, moving to London, it was the dream. It was everything I ever dreamt of. But for some reason, it was so hard to build something out there. And I think that it's just because of the culture over there. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's harder. Here in Dubai, and that's one thing that I really enjoy, is that if you're really ambitious and you've got your goals and you've got your plan together, I generally think you can make it happen. And it gives you that opportunity to, you know, grow something nice, meaningful, and obviously do something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's a sense of kind of, I always say to anybody who, even people that might be watching this, but if you are, like, no matter what age you are, you can always change your life, right?
Yes.
Like, there's always avenues. Like I didn't believe it until I come here, for example. But you need to put yourself in those situations.
Of course.
Because fitness where I was from, it was very limited.
Yeah.
You know, you'd have your classes, you could open a gym, maybe you could do some online stuff. But the people that you surround yourself by are the winners, right? Like they say like the first 5 people are the most influential people in your WhatsApp, right? But I felt like coming here, you can literally do anything.
Yeah.
You can literally do anything. If you put your mind to it, you can be whatever you want to be. You can be whoever you want to be.
Exactly.
And you can be successful, right? Like I say it's not that hard, but you need to be in those places to make it happen, you know?
Of course.
So I feel that's the vibe here, 100%.
Now, I'm going to deviate the conversation a little bit before obviously we continue, because obviously I want to speak a little bit more about the community. But before we deviate towards the community and obviously explain how it all happened, I actually saw a post on your Instagram a couple of days or maybe a week, I don't remember, but I saw the post and it kind of triggered me in the good way. When you posted it, I was like, oh, I like that. I'm happy that you're posting that. You talked about body dysmorphia.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know your history of like, how did it happen? How was, obviously now you're a fitness coach, so you understand where this is coming from. And I would love to know your journey through this, because it is something that I personally struggled with for a long time. I think I kind of got over it last year, to be completely honest with you.
Well done.
But yeah, thank you. And it is something that it would, that's why I came from like a lot of eating disorder. I went through everything from your strict binge overeating. I went through everything because I had that very intense, but even going to the beach was one of my biggest fear.
Why?
It was just like, I was like, oh my God, I'm too big. I'm too big. My friend would tell me, you are perfect. And I'm like, nope, I'm too big. My belly, my this, my that. I was so conscious. But then I realized that this is just what I am, like what I said to my brain. And that's what I'm seeing. But in reality, I'm just like perfect the way that I am. And it's fine. And it's that problem of like, you're always comparing yourself to people on social media, people on there. But little do you know, sometimes these people online also have their own journey. So do you.
Everyone.
You know? So it's not like, okay, some people are blessed. They have nice genetics and they are able to have that dream body that so-called is on Instagram or any social media. But there's some people that went through a lot to get where they are, you know? So
True.
I want to know your journey.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. This is a funny one because so during my school years, I was always petite. I was always in gymnastics or dancing or, horse riding. Like I was always active.
Okay.
So I wasn't the best in school, to be honest. I was I wasn't best grades. I was always like wanted to be proactive and do something sporty and be in business. So my mom always put me into sports. So she always put me into I was done everything.
Okay.
Horse riding, gymnastics, dancing, acting, like just crazy old stuff. But the main thing was the gymnastics.
Okay.
So I used to like gymnastics. I'd done that for a few years with my cousin. And then that transitioned into gym.
Okay.
So at school, I didn't do any PE or anything. I actually used to get kicked out all the sessions because I used to accidentally forget my t-shirts and things and have to wear the boys. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. And I would always get kicked out of sessions. So I was a bit of a naughty girl. But then I went into gym. Okay. So I found my flow. So like I said, my dad had the gym, but everything was bodybuilding.
Okay.
So bear in mind, I was like, 16? This was 10 years ago. Just as Instagram was coming about, it just launched.
Okay.
Instagram.
Yeah.
So it was, everyone was in bodybuilding. The guys were doing bodybuilding, but the girls weren't really doing bodybuilding, especially my age group at the time, because girls just left school.
Yes, correct.
But I would always train with my dad and his friends. So they would teach me, that's how I got into fitness, right? Because they would teach me how to do the bicep curls and how to do lat pull downs and how to do back squats. And I was 16 and I'm like, oh, I like this. So long story short, I was really into fitness. Physique was fine because I was petite. Wanted to progress with my physique in some way, but I'm like, okay, what's the next step? Bodybuilding or bikini fitness.
Okay.
At the time on Instagram, I had this idea. I didn't necessarily want to do it, but I'm like, it sounds good. And then on my explore page at the time was just girls, how to get a 4-pack in 6 weeks, foods to eat that will make you look lean. And everything was just boom, 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 boom. And when you're 16, you're like, okay, well, if she's a fitness coach and she's doing well and clients are signing up to her online program or whatever, ebook, I think it was at the time, then I need to look like her.
Okay, yeah.
So I remember sitting back one time and I just see these really petite girls and like thigh gaps and like collarbones. And I'm like, a lot of bikini competitors. And I'm like, okay, I need to do that. Because why are people going to listen to me?
Of course, yeah.
You know,
I see what
I need
you
to
mean.
be something.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Especially at this age. So I found a coach. He was an IFBB pro. Really, really nice guy. Good trainer. My mom knew him for years. But basically approached him and I said, look, I want to compete. I was 19 at the time. This was actually after a few years.
Okay.
I said, okay, let's do it. But I didn't have a clue what the training was like. I just thought, okay, go in and do a few squats and eat a few apples and, you know, spinach or whatever. And then the diet was like military hardcore shit. Like I would never, now I say I would never do it, but I was 19.
Yeah.
So now I would do it, but differently if I was to really want to do it.
Yeah.
Long story short, it was very much like 5 meals a day, 1,000 calories a day, no fruit, definitely no alcohol, no juice, no chocolate. Like it was the caveman diet.
Wow.
It was intense. Yeah, it was intense. But he was such a strong coach. And I'm actually so glad that he came into my life because you know how you always remember that one person that was very strict?
Yes.
My dad was strict in business and life and, you know, progress with your goals and really smash that. But, you know, we'll go out and have cakes and things. But when you've got a coach that's like, yeah, you can't deviate from your training because you need to win. If you go on stage, every other girl looks fantastic. You need to look better than all of them in order to win.
Okay, I hear it.
So because you want to win, right? You don't want to go on stage and just half-ass it.
Of course.
You want to be the winner. But I remember it was crazy. Like the training, I was doing 300 kilogram leg press. It was 19-year-old, 20-year-old. He's like, yeah, lift more. I would cry. I would come at the session like, I don't want to do it anymore. Like the more you cry, the more leg presses you're going to be doing, the more reps you're going to be doing. It was like military training, right? Then it got to a point where the weight was so rapid. It was like boom, 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 boom. Like each week I looked, I was like, yeah, I'm getting a 4-pack. Look at these striations. Like I looked amazing, you know, at the time. Like I really looked well. Like I look back at photos now and I think, yeah, I looked really well. I was young, right? I still hadn't fully developed, but it becomes so obsessive that if you had one extra nut or like one extra, you had a little bit of dark chocolate, you're like, no, she's going to beat me because everyone else is eating nuts and no one else is eating chocolate. In a nutshell, that kind of cramped down. It got to a point where my family were like, yeah, you're looking a bit too lean. They were never negative against it because they knew what the goal was.
Yeah.
But they were like, yeah, you're looking a bit skinny. You know, you need to, like, what's going on? Like, they didn't understand the vision, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at myself like, I never looked like this before.
Yeah.
And I don't actually like the way I look. I'm just doing it because I'm trying to please everybody else.
Yeah.
So I didn't enjoy the journey at all, to be honest. It was a good experience, but I didn't enjoy it. Then it got to a point where I was teaching a class. Bear in mind, this is like doing 2 hours cardio a day, 1,000 calories a day, 4 liters of water a day, 12,000 steps a day, meals every 3 hours. You wake up during the night, have a protein shake for recovery when you sleep. Go in, hit gym session 4 or 5 times a week, strength. If you missed it, you wouldn't miss it because why would you want to do that if you want to win? And at the same time, I was taking clenbuterol. So it's like a steroid kind of fat burner.
Okay.
I think it is illegal, maybe, but in some countries it's not. But definitely in the UK it was illegal at the time. But everyone else is doing it, right? Because if you're on stage, everyone else is doing it, so you need to do it. I didn't cross the line of taking anything else. And he didn't actually recommend doing that, to be honest, but because it was meant to be natural. But this is more like a stimulant.
Okay.
You know, I wouldn't recommend anybody who's watching to take it, by the way, because it speeds your heart rate up to the point where you shed body fat so quick, but you'd be like this.
Okay.
You'd be like this. And if you had heart palpitations or if you have heart problems, how do you know? You could have a heart attack and die.
Of course.
Right, which you've heard before. So I remember teaching a class and I just dropped 2 clenbuterols and I'm, doing my class and I had no sugar in my system. I was like 7.5, maybe 47 kg, like 7.5 stone. I was petite. And I'm doing a class and I've got like 20 girls coming into the class and I'm like, don't feel good. And I'm like, this isn't right. And like the heart's like bum, 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 bum. And I'm like, I think I need to tell someone. Because nobody knew, right? It was all between me and the coach.
Of course.
And I'm like, yeah, don't feel good. So I used to have 60 girls come in a night, like 20 girls, 20 girls, 20 girls. And then I was like, okay. So I literally text the class, everyone in the class, and I'm like, girls, I don't feel good. It was 15 minutes before the start. I'm like, I need to sit out. Like, I need to have a sit down. Anyway, the girls were fine. They were like, luckily they hadn't left home and stuff. They were like, sit it out. It's fine. I'm like, don't feel good here. And then anyway, I told my dad about it, told my parents about it, and we're like, it's getting too much now. So seen my coach, sat him down, was like, I really appreciate everything. Like, you've been the best coach, probably a bit harsh for the age that I was at and the mindset I was at, but feel amazing, look amazing, but I don't want to go any further with this. Like, I nearly passed out. Like, I thought I was going to die, and I was being sick and everything. It was horrible. And because your body goes into shock.
Of course.
So I remember he was like, I appreciate everything. Thank you for letting me know. Anyways, we ended on that. And I just got in the car park and I was like, I just started crying, like hormones were everywhere. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, it was a relief. It felt good. I was kind of disappointed. I'm like letting everybody down. I'm like, just so many mixed emotions.
Yeah.
But the body dysmorphia come after that.
Okay.
So when you go into the real world again,
Okay.
I'm like, So I go back to normal food now. Well, I'm actually meant to eat carbs.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, bread isn't allowed. With chocolate, I'm not going to eat that. So when you haven't got anybody monitoring you, still wanting to look the best out of everybody on social media, it was then being told, okay, how do I go back to normal life again?
Yeah.
That's the hardest part. And
Yes,
any
correct.
competitor who's actually been through the process, it hits them 10 times harder.
Yes.
Because you should actually have a coach after.
Correct.
Getting you back into maintenance and getting you back into the reality, So yeah, I was, eating, I was terrified to go out, wouldn't go to social events, definitely wouldn't drink, and would leave early, still have a protein shake in the car for whatever reason, I don't know, I just wanted to maintain the physique. Remember, it was Easter and my mom bought me an Easter egg and she was like, it's a Galaxy Easter egg. It was a big, motherfucking big one. And I'm like, that looks nice. So I started binge eating it. Because you go into this like, I'm not allowed to eat food,
Yes.
right? But it's here and I kind of eat it again after this. Because that's what binging is. It's like, you might know yourself.
You restrict yourself for so
Yeah.
long. And then when you finally have it in front of you, you're like,
You're
oh
like,
my God,
yes.
yes.
It's like a prize.
And when you eat, and the thing is, I remember when I used to binge, I would eat it and then it would be like, I could not stop.
Yes.
And you're just like, da 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 da. And then
Yes.
after you've binged, you're like, I feel like shit.
Yeah. You make yourself be sick.
Exactly.
Everything like this.
I went through that so many.
Yeah.
Like, to a point, I remember there was one time in the UK, because I was exactly like this, where no oil, no carbs, no nothing, I cut down because I was watching a lot of like YouTube learning. I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to eat. I was taking everything that I saw, putting it all together, trying to make sense for myself. I was also I was eating 1,000 to 900 calories some days.
Crazy.
And in the UK, you walk a lot. You walk a lot, you train a lot, you do your cardio. I was super active. And same, I think the lowest I was probably 47, 48. Oof. But then,
petite.
Very, very, and I looked like a kid. Everyone, I was going to the shop buying in kids area for clothes because there was nothing that would fit me in the women's size. And I was 25 by then?
Yeah.
And I'm like, hold on a minute. I'm 25 and I'm wearing kids' clothes. Something's not right. Yeah. But then, like you said, you have that fear of like, ooh, carbs, ooh, food, I can eat. Oh, no. You ask, it's like everything that is normal becomes abnormal.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a time where that's when it went viral on YouTube at that time, where there was everyone doing the 10,000 calories challenge within 24 hours. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it because I want to start YouTube.
You did it?
I did it, Oof. But it was a massive binge. When I think
of course.
When I think about all of that, it was just me binging. And when I say I binged, you can think about everything. Your donut, your M&S cookies, your bagel, your Five Guys, your McDonald's, your chocolate, everything.
It's true.
And then by the end of the day, I just went straight to the bathroom and I just made myself sick because I couldn't.
Yeah. Well, this was the thing. I was the same. So for example, I would always think, well, I mean, the transition was, okay, whatever you see on social media, you believe.
Yes,
right?
Correct.
So at the time, I believe that everyone should experiment with the body. Yeah. Or you should find a coach that believes in healthy, balanced lifestyle, which again is very difficult. Now it's a bit easier to find, but this is how I portray with my clients.
Of course.
I'm like, healthy, balanced lifestyle. Like every food group, you should eat.
Of course.
Right? But back then, you'd have strict bodybuilding coaches, you'd have bikini building coaches, you'd have, 1,000 calorie diets, you'd have just Atkins diet, you'd have all these keto diets and all that shit.
Yeah.
But then you're experimenting still because you're still young, right?
Of course.
But I remember one time when I ate this Easter egg, I was like, what have I done? I'm like, tomorrow this is going to turn into fat. And then I would just go to the toilet and be sick.
Yeah.
But the feeling of being sick was like, thank God, tomorrow I'm going to be fine.
Exactly.
So yeah, I would never encourage it. I know this is probably triggering for some people as well because we've been in it as well.
Yeah.
But you actually don't realize until you look years back and you're like, at the end of the day, people don't really care about how you look,
100%.
47 kg to 67 kg, people are so self-absorbed and they only care about themselves, let's be honest. Right?
I agree.
Where they say, oh, you look really good today. If you're 47, but you're like, but no, I look amazing. They're like, well, you look the same. So the idea I always say to get out of the binge mode mindset is to understand that nobody really cares.
Exactly.
If you go to the beach and you've got a belly, so is everybody else.
Exactly.
You've got a bit of back fat, so is everyone else. If you've got a 4-pack, who really cares, right?
100%.
You want to do it for yourself. If you want to do a photo shoot or you want to do it for self-confidence, brilliant, fine, do it. But no one really cares.
Exactly.
Men like a little bit of stomach, right? You go to your lead and they're like, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Your boobs have gone.
Exactly.
And I'm like, what do you mean?
Exactly.
So it's, and I always say to everybody now, like food doesn't go anywhere. Tomorrow there'll still be muffins, and the next day there'll still be muffins, and the next day there'll still be muffins. And you go to your grandma's house and they'll still have the same food. I always thought food is never gonna, it's very limited, right? Like it's here today and it's gone tomorrow.
Of course.
So food will always be there.
I agree. And I like that you mentioned that because I had kind of a awakening this year. I'm not going to lie. So I was always against coaching. I was like, nah, they're going to say, after having this bad history with like binge eating disorder and all of that, I was like, nah, I'll never have a coach. Tried to talk to many coaches and I was like, I'm not getting that thing. And then end of last year, I met my current coach, Ross. And it clicked. The moment we had that conversation, I was like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I want. And I like it because his approach was very healthy. It showed me that you shouldn't fear food. So basically post my eating disorder, I was eating 1.5 to 1.6 calories per day. And I was overtraining and I could not see any result. Hence why I kind of reached out to Ross because I wanted to see improvement in my body. I wanted to be able to consume 2,000 calories. I'm like, people are normally consuming this. Why am I not able to consume that? So then I reached out to him and we went through this journey together where I actually bulked. And through this journey, I saw my body change again. And I saw, clothes size going up. Nude clothes I had to buy, boobs are popping and everything. And then it's funny because then I realized that some people would tell me, oh my God, you look great. And I'm like, wow. So basically
47 hours, 76 Ks.
Exactly. It's like, so whether I'm bulking or cutting, you will always find people who are like your bigger version or your leaner version. Not bigger, like bulkier, thick. That's a UK term.
You look healthy.
Exactly.
You look healthy. I'm like, what do you mean healthy?
Exactly.
You look healthy. Okay, I'll take healthy.
Exactly. So then that's when I realized, I was like, do you know what? That's when it kind of like, I had that light bulb moment. And I was like, do you know what? I need to love my body, whatever shape or form it's going to be. Because if I don't love my body, how am I going to expect someone? Why am I looking for external validation?
Exactly.
And I think that's when, for me personally, I think body dysmorphia kind of went off completely. It's like, why am I caring again?
True.
So yeah. And how do you feel now today?
It's funny because it probably took me around about 7 to 8 years to actually realize, because you just forget.
Correct.
Like at the time, you're so self-conscious. You want to be the best. You're still understanding your body. You're growing up. You're comparing yourself to other people, and then I think you just get, maybe it's just an age thing also, that you just kind of grow out of wanting to be validated and
100%.
be this like ideal. Because when you're an image, like for example, Shape Up with Sher is a person, right? So people look to you. So I always used to be self-conscious about, being on videos, my arms look a little bit big, or still now, because I've always been thinner.
Yeah.
But then it got to a point where I'm like, you just have to accept yourself for you. And if no one really cares, if people have something to say, then that's their problem.
Exactly.
Right? But every single person on this planet, man or woman, feels self-conscious in some way.
100%.
Or wishes that, I wish I had longer hair. I wish, I had a bit of like less cellulite. But you just have to realize that everyone's the same.
Exactly.
And these Instagram people, these Instagram models and things like that, it's not realistic. There's a lot of filters and now it's all started coming to life.
Exactly.
But 10 years ago, it wasn't because nobody knew about it. So you just get this realization where you're like, you know what? You look the same. Like you look at these girls in Dubai and they have 5 million followers and they are fitness influencers, but in the light, they also have cellulite.
Exactly.
You look at them, you're like, well, you also have cellulite.
Exactly.
So I actually feel better now.
Yeah.
But I think that's the main thing about just when you're lying on your deathbed at the end of the day, you're not like, oh my God, I'm dying, but I just wish I was skinnier. Like, if anything, you want to be chunkier because you're healthier.
Yeah.
So I also think it's an age thing. And I think that with time, your confidence comes.
Yeah.
But the main thing, and I always recommend to everybody, is to at least you're fit and healthy.
Yes.
Just be fit and healthy. No matter what size you are. Like you get CrossFit athletes that are have like 40% body fat, but they're like fit and strong and
correct.
So you look at that and you're like, wait, hang on. So you don't need to be the leanest physique bodybuilder. You can be a CrossFit athlete and still be the fittest on the planet.
Exactly.
So it's all about your heart health and being an influence to other people. Like I always say, like success for me is not about money. It's never been about money. That just kind of come. But success is about serving other people, making a difference.
I like
right?
that.
So if someone can look at you and be like, wait, you go to the gym, you're healthy, you are, at least you're trying your best, you're eating remotely healthy, but the message that you're giving across is good, right? You're not getting people to starve, or you're not getting people to cut the calories. You're actually being an influence to people in a positive way. So that's definitely what I believe in.
I love that. And I love that you're raising awareness about it, because I genuinely believe that any diet that you go through, and that is a message that I want to spread around, is that coming from someone who both of us went through it, you don't need to be eating no carbs or like just protein and a protein shake to kind of reach your healthy size or be a healthy way. You can actually incorporate your carbs, your fats, your even. I was still scared this year to have olive oil because I was still like, oh no, I'm on my spray.
Too much fat.
I was like, why am I losing again 100 calories in oil when I could save that for something else? But again, it's that mentality of like, when I used to have this thing, but nowadays it's like obviously raising the awareness,
Yeah, and you also have to go through the journey, right? Like you can't say to somebody, just eat this.
Yeah.
Like you have to go through the journey. Like for example, my clients, if I was to onboard a client, they would, the program that I have is called Glow Getters. So it's not like how to lose weight or like, lose 6 kg or like, it's finding your glow.
Yeah.
Like empowering women and finding your glow in and out of your work clothes. That's the slogan. But it's about understanding the healthy lifestyle, right? So for example, onboarding somebody, questionnaire, a lot of customization as well, because not one size fits all, which a lot of meal plans do, right? 100%. You could be lactose intolerant. You might like this food or not like this food, or you might, be on your feet 17,000 steps a day, and you might be sitting down in an office. So you have to have some sort of customization as a coach, right? That's why coaches are there. Else everybody would walk around looking the same.
Of course.
But also understanding, I'm a big believer in macros.
Yeah.
So understand how many grams of fats are in food, how many grams of proteins are in food, how many calories are in food. That's just the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to know that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think rather than doom scrolling on Instagram, looking at videos of things that aren't important, start understanding about like what foods are you actually eating, what's inside of it.
Correct.
I agree. And then from there you can start eyeballing things. So you can go to restaurants and rather than looking at the olive oil, you'd be like, okay, well it's fat, but at the back of your head, you still have to have a bit of an idea because you would just have too much and you would gain weight and then you'd feel subconscious and you'd feel like sluggish. So you got to be like, okay, subconsciously, I know kind of what I can eat. I know how many calories I should be eating and fats, proteins and carbs, what suits me to maintain my weight or, lose or even gain if you want to gain muscle. But then you start eyeballing things.
Yeah, correct.
Right? And you start kind of guesstimating.
Yeah.
So when it gets to cheat meals, you're not going to have 10,000 calories like this challenge. You might have like a burger and a little bit and be like, okay, that's a cheat meal. That's fine.
Exactly.
So for me, I actually learned about macros because I didn't know anything about that. So I would definitely recommend find a coach, get some customization and understand macros and MyFitnessPal and also tracking food's beginning.
I love that.
Track food, find out what works for you. 1,500 calories, 2,000 calories, 2,500 calories. You don't know unless you try it.
Exactly.
Adjust it.
Exactly. Plus, like you said, everyone's body is different. Everyone's metabolism is different. Everyone's lifestyle is different, you know? So obviously, I agree with what you say. You need to obviously be, I now more than ever, I preach for having a coach. Till now, I remember I told him we'd work together for a year. And very recently, like, no, not recently, a couple of months ago, I said, I'm sorry, but you're stuck with me because
He's like, yes,
it's just
you're
like,
mine.
it's just that accountability and that, like, I don't have to worry.
Accountability, yeah.
You know, and it's like, hey, this is happening right now. What do I do? Am I doing the right thing? And knowing that I'm doing everything in a healthy way just changes everything.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
education.
Exactly.
You're paying for accountability. You're paying for education. Like I say to a lot of people, they say, well, I don't need a coach. I'm like, yeah, but you could spend more money and more time going on YouTube and trying other things. When you could invest, you know, a lump sum of money, 12-week program or whatever it is, get a coach that's relatable to you, because some coaches aren't relatable to me, right? You might
Correct.
be a guy, or you want someone that's been through it, that understands, that's kind of where you're at, where you
Correct.
have this conversation and
Yeah.
you know, relationship, where you can talk, okay, I'm on my period today, like, what can I eat? I'm feeling a bit hungry, or I don't want to train today, okay, do something low intense. It's about being open with the coach for sure. I definitely recommend that. But investment is key. Like, you have to invest. Same way as if you go to university.
Correct.
You would spend X amount on university for 3 or 4 years to then go and apply for a job.
Yeah.
Right? That you might not even like, right?
Exactly.
But now you think, okay, what I want to do is invest the same amount of money into a coach. Now I'm going to get results. I'm going to get education. I'm definitely going to be healthier. It's going to be long term, and I'm going to know this knowledge forever.
Exactly.
And then at the end of it, you know, I don't need the coach anymore, right? Because once you've got the idea is that you don't need the coach.
Yeah.
I should actually say that, because really I would, you know, be better off saying you always need a coach. But when you've got all of those factors, then you can say to your coach, I know everything now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know the accountability. Maybe I can stay with you for the accountability, which a lot of my clients do, because they still like to talk to me and they still need the accountability.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
if you're the 50% that can walk away and say, I'm going to do this on my own, right? Because these companies that are making multi-millions of pounds, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because people come back. If it's an industry that comes back, it's profitable, right?
Of course.
But the big ones, the multi-million pound, it works for a short amount of time and then they come back. Like the keto diet, when you have to go back to reality and start eating carbs again, you're like, shit, I've gained weight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what worked? Keto diet. 12 weeks, no carbs. Okay, now I've stopped it. Back to carbs, gain weight. So these are the kind of cycles that people don't realize that they hook you in.
Exactly.
So healthy, sustainable, long-term, you know, nutrition.
I love that. Now, obviously, we've talked about body dysmorphia. We got to understand a bit about your fitness journey, your journey as a coach. Now, I want to talk about something that obviously, this is how I met you, is your community. So tell me a bit more about your community. How did you start this community here in Dubai? How did you come to this idea that, okay, I'm going to do this community with women's only, and I'm going to help women, empower them, create events for women, which honestly is, all of them are very interesting. Like, I like to see the schedule, like there's always a monthly schedule, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice, you know? Anyone can jump on it. Obviously, it is opening a platform, because a lot of people talk in Dubai about loneliness, but then when you find your people, you don't feel like that lonely anymore, because we've got to bear in mind, when we're leaving our country, we're leaving our family, we're leaving literally our life behind, you know, to come here and do the things that we got to do. But you also need to be supported around the right people. So talk to me about your community, like everything.
Yeah. Backstory. I like it. Backstory.
Okay.
So this was funny because, you know how I talked about the mood board situation? Like, every single year, and I would always recommend people to do this, especially if you're watching and you have a vision, like, put it on paper, right? Go on Keynote. It was presentation back in the time. Keynote, Canva. Keynote is nice. And just write out 2025 mood board, vision board, mood board. So I used to break it down into sections, right? This is wild. If I showed you my mood board, you'd be like, holy shit. But I do it every year. So for example, I would do pictures, very visual, right? Go on Pinterest, break 3 categories down. So 3 slides. In 2025, this is what I want to achieve. Health goals, How do you want to look? How do you want to feel? Wealth, business, how much money do you want to make? Where do you see your business? You know, do you want an office? Do you see a community? Do you see products? Do you see, you know, whatever it is, collaborations, billboards, put it down visually. And then the third one would be relationships. So do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Do you want to meet new celebrities to network and do podcasts with? So you've got 3. So actually this vision is now on paper and you're like, look at it every day. So you can print it off, put it on your wall, or you can just put it on your desktop screen. But hands down, every single year, I've achieved everything.
That's beautiful.
Except from the gym, but that'll be next. So before COVID, I had the vision of building a community. I mean, I had a community, right? Because I had my classes, I had like 120 girls a week.
Correct.
And everything. But then I'm like, okay, I'm very good at serving people.
Okay.
Like getting women together to connect. I'm brilliant at that. Like I'm the tool. Like, okay, you work in this industry, you work in this industry. Let's just put you guys together. In fact, let's do 30 girls together and let's do 40 and 50 and 60 and 100. And I'll put you all in one room and you guys can connect and I'll just step back. Like that's what I like to do. But then obviously incorporate fitness for girls to get fit. So I did the mood board last year of 2025. And at the time I was working at Fit and Glam in Dubai Hills. So I would see the whole different culture of Dubai. I didn't know anything about Arabs. I didn't know anything about Muslims. I come from this small town in Newcastle and I'm like, wow, girls actually wear abayas and they take it off and they go to the gym and they wear the little crop tops and, you know, the little shorts and then they wear their abayas and they leave. So I'm like, how do we create a community where we bring everyone together? Yeah. Right? Because here it's very like isolated and, you know, you go to your home and you go to your home and, but everybody connected in the gym.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm working at Fit and Glam at the time. I'm like, I obviously can't do this at Fit and Glam because I work for the company. But what I can do is start my own thing and create my own community.
Yeah.
But it was on my vision board the year before.
Okay.
Everything that we're doing today, funny enough. But yeah, so that kind of come about. And then I went freelance. So I went freelance for like 4 months. Still freelance now, working in Warehouse Gym Al Quoz, but they have a ladies section. So I'm like, okay, I do personal training. I have this idea of creating a community and creating events and collaborating with companies and basically making the wildest, most unique fitness-only events for women in the UAE, whilst getting sponsorships and collaborations on board. How am I going to do that? So that was the idea. And I'm like, okay, I only do personal training now when I have my online coaching. Online coaching, the girls live in like Saudi, Kuwait, Abu Dhabi. So they're not necessarily in UAE. So weird. I'm like, right, I want to start a run club in 2025. I want to build events. I want to build a community. I want at least 1,000 members. This was on the thing. I said, I want like office space. I want to like have teams working for me where we can start, you know, working internally and like build a business, right? So at the time, my friend was like, do you want to join my run club? This was in December last year. He said, do you want to join my run club? I said, yeah, let's do it. I joined this run club. It was very small at the time. And then there was only 3 girls in the run club. And I remember being in the run club like, yo, this is nice. Like Kite Beach, 6:30 a.m., you know, vibes, everything. And at the same time, I created a viral Instagram reel. It was like a funny thing. It was a man's run club at the time. And I said, when you join a run club for extra motivation.
I've seen that reel.
Everybody's seen it.
It's been everywhere.
Everybody's seen it. It's what my mom even seen it. She's like, yo, is this you? I'm like, yeah. But it was funny because like I say, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Right? And it was just by a whim. I just did it for a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Like I don't really care much about like things going viral because nothing went that viral before. But I posted it. So I'm doing the run club and I'm like, a female only run club would be very nice. This was my idea in the back of the head. And all of a sudden it was like boom, 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 boom in January because I did it for a month. And then it got like 1 million views, 2 million views, 3 million views, 4 million views, 5 million views. It got like maybe 6 or something now. And I have someone that works for me in the Philippines, a VA, she's called Ellen. She runs my account. She looks after my account on social media. So, and I'm sitting in work and stuff and she's like, have you seen how many DMs you're getting? And I'm like, no. She's like, girl, check your DMs. You're getting 400 or 500 DMs a day.
No way.
I swear to God. So this was in like 3 or 4 weeks in January, just this year. How do I join the run club? How do I join the run club? Do you have a ladies run club? I love this. I'm a local woman. Can I start a run club? So I'm like, next week, start a run club. So I'm like, okay, what are we going to call it? Shape Up Women's Club. Done. I named it in maybe 45 seconds, right? So I said, okay, I'll get my designer back in the UK to design the brand. We'll do run clubs because it was already on the mood board. Run clubs, we'll design events, women only events. That was kind of like also in the back of the mind, but we needed to build the community first. So yeah, long story short, started the run club, was like, hey guys, starting a run club next week. Everybody who's DMing me, here's the link. Then Ellen would go to everybody and say, here's the run club, here's the time, date, location. Then it just kicked off from there. 20 girls, 30 girls, 40 girls, however how many girls would join the run club. Then they would all start adding their friends into the community. And I'm like, okay, you need to be a fast thinker, especially in business, like you can't just let things be and sit and think, oh, well, I want to do this and I want to do that. So main bit of advice is just get shit done. Like be proactive, like get shit done, right?
100%.
What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
And especially when people are demanding things, you got to work, you got to work faster than the next person because someone will steal them.
100%.
There's always competition. But at the time I'm like, okay, there's a demand for the run club. There's a demand for events, create it.
Love
Boom.
that.
5 days later, we do the first event, right? But yeah, the community started to build. The WhatsApp community started to build. We get like 100 members, 200 members. I mean, how many members were in it when you joined?
I don't remember. Probably 500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like 720 girls now.
Yeah, exactly. And that was that was less than like maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
So,
you joined recently, actually.
Yeah. So it's been a month since I've been part of. So it's already growing very fast.
Yeah. But it was wild because the idea, the whole concept is the Shape Up Women's Club is a safe space for women who want to share their, fitness and wellness journeys together in the UAE. It's about, empowering people, motivating, supporting, leveling up. That's the whole slogan, right?
Okay.
So I was asking people inside the community. I'm like, this community is not about me. I like paddle. I mean, I don't actually like paddle, to be honest. I hosted a paddle event with like 150 people. I don't even like it. I'm like, you guys like it. I don't even know how to play paddle. I'm like, you guys can play it. I'll just watch and commentate and go on the mic and be like, yeah, let's go, But it's about asking the people, serving the people, right?
Yeah, of course.
What do you want to do? You want to do horse riding? We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
You want to do dancing? We'll make it happen. I can't dance. I've got belly dancing tomorrow. I'm like, I'll just stand there like Christian. I'm like, you're doing amazing, sweetie. Like shake like this. So it's about asking people.
Yeah.
Right? That's how you build. You listen to what people have to say.
No, I agree.
Feedback. Okay, this wasn't so good. This was good. Let's do more of this. Okay, we'll do more of that. I have many ideas moving forward with this. I've got like 2 different business ventures actually that come off the back end of the Women's Club. But the idea now is to keep growing it, right? Just keep growing it. It's free. So the crazy thing was, it's nice to share this because I think a lot of people look at the club and think, oh, it's easy, like to build it. But it happened quick. But the thing was, it cost me money.
Of course.
Like this is a wild thing. And I want to ask people actually, especially people that are watching this, if it's through Instagram or whatever, in podcast. But like I asked this question on day 1, right? I want you to answer yours as well.
Okay.
But what is the one thing that you would do, right? 24 hours a day that you wouldn't get paid for?
What I would do?
24 hours a day, 7 days a week that you wouldn't get paid for?
Raise awareness. Empower people. Do something of service. Exactly, I don't know. That could come in many ways and shape and form. If I can help someone in any way possible and have a smile on their face, change their life somehow, empower them in one way, that's the biggest win. Because I truly believe, just like you've mentioned, financial is one thing. Obviously, we all need finance, like to survive, to meet our need and all of this. But the most beautiful success and where I truly feel fulfilled is when I feel like I've achieved something in the sense I've served someone, I've empowered someone, I've inspired someone. Maybe not if it doesn't need to be my story. It could be anyone's story, but I've put it in the light for people to listen and be like, oh, okay. Okay, I'm inspired. I feel good. You need this moment. You need to listen to that. Would for me is the biggest win.
Yeah, it's true.
It is just that moment of like, even having that friend who's just, for example, going for a rough time and be like, hey, I got you. Let's talk. Let's just talk.
It's true.
That is a big win for me.
And I say this to everybody, right? Like even as a coach, like I actually coach people mentally, like online coaching, right? But I always ask people this question. People are like, I don't know my purpose. What's my purpose? I'm like, well, I don't know your purpose, but what is one thing that you would do? And people actually do this at home because it'll literally change your life. Like you'll start a business by doing this because what would you do 24 hours a day? Because when you're working, you work 24 hours, you don't switch off.
Correct.
You're thinking of ideas, you're going to sleep, you're thinking of this, you're writing your notes, you're waking up, you're booking this in. That you wouldn't get paid for, right? Because that's what you want to do, whether it's painting, whether it's serving people. I mean, for example, yours is podcasting.
Yes.
You probably don't make any money off this at the minute.
100%.
You know?
100%.
Right?
Yes.
I don't make any money off my events.
Yeah.
Actually, I made 0 pence. Actually, it's cost me money. These last 6 months, it cost me 25,000 dirham to invest into this at my own pocket. No investors, nothing. But only because I'm like, okay, in order to do this horse riding event, yes, I can charge 100 dirham on top and make 500 dirham out of 16 girls or whatever. Because the company also, for the first 6 months, the company wants a cut.
Of course.
So they say it's 100 dirham per head. I charge 100. It's 200 dirham, right? Out of that 100, I'm investing in a videographer. I'm investing in food on top of that. So actually, I'm breaking even. You know, then it's costing me time to get the videographer, to pay for the food on top. So actually, it's cost me money, right? And some of these things are free. So it's your time, your energy. But actually, when you have a bigger picture, right, and you actually fucking love what you do, like when you turn around, like, you know, this event is sick. Like, look at this sunset and you're horse riding this Emirati girl's talking to this Russian girl that would never talk to each other.
Yeah.
And now she's got a new business idea and she's just sold a house. Like, that's nice.
Exactly.
You know? But then the bigger picture is like, okay, the money comes after. Because now what's actually happened is, and this wasn't a plan from day one, was the first 6 months it cost me money, right? Which was fine, obviously time, energy. It needed to happen, okay, in order to build a community. But then after the 6 months, I said, you know what I'm going to do? There's 700 girls in the community now. By September, inshallah, there'll be 1,000. That's the goal. But what we're going to do is every single company, you know, dance studios, aerial yoga studios, Pilates reformer studios, you guys will do a collaboration with us, right? So it's not going to cost me anything. You're going to do it free. I say to the girls, and this is what I'm doing now. I say to the girls, okay, girls, there's 30 spaces for belly dancing tomorrow. I'll bring the girls. So you're getting free exposure. You're getting 30 girls in your venue. You're selling memberships potentially for dancing, right?
Correct.
You know, it's a win-win for everybody because we're here to serve, right?
100%.
I'm not like to the business, okay, we're going to take all your money. You're getting 30 girls on top of your business that could potentially sign up and you're getting exposure.
Correct.
But now still I make no money, right? Nothing. But the financial side of it is, okay, how could we leverage this, right? Now it's getting to the point where we're bringing sponsors on board and they're covering the event. Like the paddle event also made nothing, right? It's all about helping people. I help you, you help me.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
We work together, we're a team. Correct. Like GNC, they actually sponsored my last event. I pitched the idea to them. I basically said to them, okay, I want to host a paddle event. We're going to make the biggest event this year, by the way. They said, okay, what do you want to do? I said, okay, me and another community are collaborating. I said, we'll make zero pence of this. Transparency. I said, I make nothing. Right? I said, but we're doing it because we want to create a fucking awesome event that no one else has done.
Yeah.
I don't even care if it costs me money. Like, we're going to make it sick, right?
Yeah.
They were like, okay, we're in. What do you want? I said, okay, well, this is the price to cover the fees of the court and the yoga instructor and everything. Everything's paid for. You guys pay for that. But you guys bring your products. You guys bring, you know, your sales team, whatever. We get the stall, you know, make it look cool. We get a DJ. She actually done a collaboration as well. But all the other companies now are collaborating for free, okay? But now the idea in future is to keep the community free.
Of course.
Right? But the second venture is something else. I don't know if I want to talk about that, but...
Okay. Well, I love that. Honestly, you're doing great. And I really wish you all the best. I know there's many, many more things. We are cooking something, guys. I'm not going to say anything just yet.
Oh, we're cooking.
We're cooking something, me and Sher.
Cooking something in the pan, huh?
There's something happening. Just keep an eye just towards end of November. I am not going to announce anything just yet because everything is behind the scene. Little do you know what's happening in my little brain and her little brain.
You gotta keep it BTS.
But just keep an eye. That's all I'm gonna say. Sher, I have to unfortunately wrap up the episode.
We've covered everything, sis.
But before you go, I've got a little bit of a tradition. We're gonna go through it very quickly.
Okay, tell me.
So I've got a bit of a what if situation.
Yeah,
so I'll ask you a what if few questions. And then we're going to go through a rapid fire questions.
I like it. Fire away, sis. I'm ready.
All right.
We're in the hot seat.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
What if you never moved? How different do you think your life and mindset would be?
I love it. I know what I would have done is I would have opened up a gym.
Okay.
I would have opened a female-only gym.
What if fitness never entered your life? What do you think would have filled that space?
I love it. So when I was 16, I opened up an events company.
Oh,
college.
really?
I studied business.
Okay.
And then alongside that, I opened up an events company called Adventure. So back to events. It's in a full loop.
I love that. Okay. If you had always loved your body, would your coaching still be as powerful or relatable?
If I always loved my body, that's a tough one. No, I don't think it'd be relatable because I wouldn't have had a story.
Okay. All right.
I like this.
All right. What if someone listening is thinking of starting a community but doubts herself? What would you tell her?
I think anything is possible. I think do what you want to, do what is driving you, right? Follow your gut.
Okay.
And just have the confidence to do it. Because what's the worst that can happen? What?
True. All right. So now, you ready for the rapid fire question?
I'm ready. Tell me.
All right. I'm going to go easy on you first.
Nah, go hard.
I love that. Okay.
Go hard, sis.
Dubai or UK?
Dubai.
Morning workout or evening workout?
Morning.
One word to describe your Dubai chapter so far.
Roller coaster.
I love that. I could
With
relate.
men,
with
business.
I can relate.
This is coming. It's coming.
Upcoming episode.
The men is coming.
What's the boldest decision you've ever made, and would you do it again?
Moving to Dubai with absolutely zero plan, just a laptop in one suitcase for 4 weeks. Yes, I would do it again. Times 10.
What's one belief you had to unlearn to become the woman you are today?
What's the one belief I had to unlearn?
Yes.
What's the one belief I had to unlearn? What's the one belief I had to unlearn? That's a very good question.
What is the belief from the past that you had to unlearn?
Believe that, the body dysmorphia thing. Okay. Believe that you don't need to be validated in order to be knowledgeable and respected.
All right. What scares you but excites you at the same time right now?
Uncertainty of life.
Okay.
This is why it's good to be a businesswoman, right? Or a businessman. Because if you worked a 9 to 5, you've got a routine.
True.
We like the hustle. We like if it doesn't work, if it does work, if it goes viral, if it goes, if I'm successful, I'm not. We like it. We're weird. You have to be weird.
What does confidence feel like to you today?
Not giving a shit.
Okay. What's the hardest part about leading a women's community and the best part?
Hardest part, this is funny. There's actually zero hard part.
Okay.
Zero hard part. What was the second question?
And the best part.
Oh, the best part is being creative and organizing events that have never happened for women.
What does healing look like for you now?
What does healing look like for me? Healing is accepting to be the best person that you can be, and that if someone doesn't accept you, fuck them.
Okay. Legacy or impact? What do you care about more?
Impact.
Okay. One word to describe the woman you fought to become.
One word to describe the woman I fought to become. One word to describe. Oh, these are tough. God, where do you get these? Is ChatGPT or what?
Nah, it's a bit of me. It's a bit of me.
It's a bit of you?
It's a bit of me and it's a bit of ChatGPT. Listen,
I like your honesty.
I'm not gonna lie. My English, guys, it is not the best.
It's good.
Sometimes I write it and I'm like, so I have the question sometimes in French and I'm like, write this in English. So it's like, and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, sometimes I'm glad I speak English because there's no translation. There's no mix up. Sorry, what was the question again?
One word to describe the woman you fought to become.
That's a very good question. Fought to become. I would say, honestly, right? It's definitely going to change in the next 10 years, but nothing's really changed. Like, I've always been driven, resilient, like want to make things work, proactive, action taker, like, there's always been that drive. Nothing's really hindered other than maybe it's the confidence thing with the physique.
Okay.
So I don't know what you would call that. It wouldn't be confidence because I've always been confident. Okay. So it's like, I don't know what you'd call that.
Okay, I take that.
In one word.
My last one. one advice that you could give to your younger self.
If something feels uncomfortable or your gut is calling you to do something, take action quicker.
Okay. Sher, it was beautiful. Thank you so much. That was such a beautiful conversation. Looking forward to have you back on the pod, and looking forward to work with you for November. Am I going to say anything else?
Yeah, cooking baby. Cooking baby.
Thank you so much. Last words before I close the episode.
Find me on Instagram, Shape Up with Sher, and follow It's Me As World.
Thank you so much. On that note, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.